One of the best known media professionals in Pakistan, Jerjees Seja, is on the podcast with me today to talk about AI, the future of the industry, how to build and scale a celebrity and talent, and what this industry needs today to reach the next level. Check out this episode of Digitales. JJ, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Thanks for taking the time.
Pleasure.
I've been wanting to have a conversation with you for a very long time, लेकिन इतनी सारी बातें हैं करने की, I didn't know where to begin.
So let's start as we can.
So then what I said is, how do I start, right? So I said, you know what, let's start with something you've said. And I went to your LinkedIn and I found a quote that really sort of resonated with me. And you said, almost everything advertising agencies and media buying houses in Pakistan have seriously interfered with has eventually collapsed. Right? And I think you were referring to the big platform shows, the Pakistan Idols, I don't know what you were referring to. But walk me through what you mean by that, because this was on your LinkedIn from last year.
Okay, I think to start with, I don't remember which one and what was the contest at that time. But if you look at it, what advertising industries and whatever we've been doing in the past few decades now, I think we haven't been building anything concrete. So the way the advertising world has been going, we've been going very superficial. So we're trying to just follow the pattern. We're just trying to follow a certain kind of things that are working, but not exactly building or creating something new. So when you follow the pattern and you don't want to innovate, then you end up losing. So whatever is happening is, you don't see any brand in terms of content, in terms of marketing that you can see, because you'll see everyone complaining, यार पाकिस्तानी advertising इतनी अच्छी नहीं है, हमारे ads इतनी अच्छी नहीं है. Why? Because we are in a very safe zone. So I think I was referring to that context at that time, that why are we not able to deliver?
Why is that? I mean, why do you think they're not able to deliver? Because we've had bade platforms aaye, we've had Pakistan Idol come in, we've had MasterChef come in, we had Shark Tank come in. None of them went and became a commercial success like they were outside, right? No one has tried to build a localized franchise show platform at scale. Why not? We have 250 million people here. We have 50 plus million people, that have access.
Sir, I'm sorry, I don't agree. When you say no one, we have done that.
With Jeeto Pakistan.
Tamasha, 4 seasons down, 5th season coming up.
But Jeeto Pakistan is a singular show that has basically taken the same concept that Tariq Aziz had in the late 80s or the early 80s on PTV, which is gifting and stage and audience and stuff like that. I'm talking about something like an idol or a voice, which is taking...
Tamasha.
Okay.
Have you seen Tamasha?
I haven't.
So it's Big Brother.
But again, it's a concept that worked overseas. Then you've got MasterChef, right? Then you've got all these different concepts, right? You've got Shark Tank, you've got
So basically what you need to understand, that international concepts are developed for international markets. We are different. You need to localize. When I entered the field of advertising, there was a concept that was coming in, which was globalization.
Right.
So global concepts which you localize.
Okay, so if you take the top 3 areas that are the biggest spending areas, right? Or let's say the biggest trend areas, you've got sports, which is primarily cricket, you've got music, and you've got weddings, right? If I was to take just these 3, why has there not been a franchise content opportunity around just these 3? Who wants to be a bride? Who wants to be a cricketer? Who wants to be the next musician? We've done the music thing with the Idol and the equivalent of, लेकिन ये बाकी 2 segments तो किसी ने हाथ नहीं लगाया है.
I tend to agree with you, but the way you phrase your question, I don't agree with that. We've been doing it for longest time. Like when you say wedding, I think wedding we've been using, exploiting to the longest. Our morning shows were criticized because they used to have wedding weeks and wedding thing. But that's how our country works. See, you need to understand the psychology of a common Pakistani. The moment a kid is born, इसकी शादी की प्लानिंग शुरू हो जाती है. Your life revolves around wedding. It's one occasion, that's the peak of your life in Pakistan.
As a parent or even as a child.
So, see, as an individual, because that's a time when you have your entire family has a party. So every once in a year, you have some family wedding going on, and that is something you look up to.
Right.
We do not have those opportunities in our country where you can have that kind of activities. So what do we have? We have Eid, festivities of Eid, a little bit of festivities in Ramzan, and wedding season. So you enjoy the wedding season, and that's why we have. So all our businesses are also revolving around it. Our fashion industry revolves around wedding. Our and I think everything is revolving around that. So you are preparing our the fashion industry, the restaurants, halls, everything is. So you see so many shadi halls going on in Pakistan. You will find nowhere else in the world. Do you see shadi halls in any other place? You don't. 3,000 people invited to your walima. Only here. So basically, when you say, so yes, we do have been using it. But when we try to bring in an international concept and try to copy it, like I remember, if I'm not wrong, there was a wedding show that happened, Meera Ka Veer or something like that,
Right.
and it flopped because that's not who we are. But when you say that there was a lot of criticism about morning shows during wedding week, people used to love it. And we kept on doing it till the time people were enjoying it. When it became we went overboard with it. Not just my channel, but our entire industry. So we had to stop. We had
So why not do something like constructive, like who's the next big cricketer of Pakistan, and do a nationalized selection process and create content out of that? Matlab, there's productive content as well, right? That actually creates the future stars of an industry.
okay. So we should do it, but unfortunately, that's where I say that our advertising world doesn't support. I'll give you example. Last year we've been doing Tamasha Big Brother for last 4 years. So first 3 seasons we focused more on the celebrities or small celebrities that were there. People who have not made big. Obviously, you won't find Myra and Fawad Khan in this. That's not the format. But yeah, people want to see their life more because they are the big stars. But that's not the show format. What it is all about. So we, for the first 3 seasons, we used some celebrities, and the fourth season we went to the original format that Big Brother has, which is the common man. People just went crazy, and what they said was that we don't want to watch it. There were some of the critics who went out and said we are not going to review it because you have not taken names in it, and we were like, okay, but you know what happened? 2 or 3 stars from the common people that we had selected for the show, they became stars. You'll be surprised that the girl who was singing the anthem of PSL this year, she was part of Tamasha season 4. Then the winner of the season 4, Saif, he was the brand ambassador for Zalmi. He sang the song as well for them. So that's our achievement. So if when we say we cannot do it, we've been doing it. The problem is that people do not want to because they want quick, safer bet out of it. And that's the unfortunate part. Because when you have to build something, you have to build over a period of time.
Yeah, but the thing is, then what comes first, right? Chicken or egg, advertising or content? Which comes first? Because every time we've seen groundbreaking content globally, right? It's never been advertising backed. It's the creator that found a way to get that content out. I mean, I'll go as far back as Blair Witch Project as a movie. Literally handheld, documentary style, $60,000 budget, did millions.
Market size, our market is very limited. What happens is,
Even from a TV perspective, digital, we have one of the largest markets in the world.
so that's why you have small content creators becoming big. But again, you need to understand that the minute they become big, they are in a fix
Why is that?
because your organized market doesn't support them then.
So they have to stay small.
How many Mr. Beast do you have in Pakistan? If you look at the content of Mr. Beast is on now Amazon Prime. His game show is bigger than any other game show in the world right now. So how come he's doing it?
Because he has the platforms and the opportunities.
Exactly. Now the difference is that here in Pakistan, there is a support mechanism to a certain level. After that, when you have to struggle, you have to fight with the bigger ones. you have to get into the safe zone.
So let's walk through what happens, right? Let's say there's a content creator who works their way up, builds an audience of, let's say, 4 or 5 million, sort of subscribers or fans or whatever. What happens then when they become that big? Like, isn't a network like yours going to support them and help them scale even further?
Uh, okay, so network is one thing. The first thing is what happens to them. So from nobody to somebody, that's a good growth that they have. But then they have to find their own niche. They have to grow. For that, they need to be in a bigger. So no, you won't find too many people going transitioning from one to second. So they might have gone and become somebody, but after that, they haven't done anything positive. They haven't done anything big. So, and for that, you need proper guidance, you need proper support, and you need support from the industry.
So let's take, okay, when you say something big or something positive, what do you mean? Because I look at characters like the one, Ducky Bhai, I don't know his name, I was just following the news. He went from being nobody to somebody, then he became big. Junaid Akram started small, was making video content, was here actually, told me his story about how he was working as a customer service rep and used to make content on the side, and now he's built an actual business and a platform, so he has become decent sized and is independent.
But what's next for them? I think they all done very well. And what they've done for the limited resources they had, I think it's incredible. But what's next for them?
So you're saying from here where they are, how do they get to Mr. Beast or even in that top percentile of the world?
So that something is missing.
So what's missing there? What is the infrastructure missing?
The industry support. As I said again, nobody is trying to take that risk on you. What everyone wants is a safe. So if any of the names you've taken, they'll be called in, they'll be asked to make a reel, they'll be asked to cover them, but that's about it.
So there's no agent who can help them develop their ability. There's
Not as much. And now everyone is being their own agent. And the agents in our country has become an issue. We keep on seeing that in our cricket ecosystem as well. Everyone is talking about it. So I think we have a long way to go.
So let's break this down. I like this part of the business conversation. So someone makes it big. If you were to build that infrastructure for taking someone from who's become somebody and taking them to the next level in, let's say, just even in Pakistan, right? Or in the Middle East or in the region, right? Look at a Nas Daily, right? Nas Daily started small, scaled, now is being acquired, right? Look at Steve Bartlett podcast, sitting in London, guy comes from a different background, How do you get guys from here in this country to get to that level? What is the infrastructure you built?
Okay, so we're talking about two different things right now. From where we started, see what happens is that when you want to build something, you need to trust someone. So you identify that, okay, this is the person, and I want to trust this guy that when he becomes big, this becomes my brand. Like I'll give you example of Saif. When we were interviewing him, he had all the right material that we thought that okay, he can be the top 5 in the 18 contestant that we will have. He was a singer. He had a funny wit. He was strong. He had a voice that he wanted to show to the world. Everything was gelling in. He did win, and he won by a huge margin. And from day one, people resonated with him. Something was there that was clicking, and we could see it that he's growing day by day, episode every day. We could see. Now, when the brands are there, not many brands have embraced on him that much because they don't want to. It's easier to take the bigger name. If you look at our advertising industry, same celebrity is in 4 commercials of the same category or genre. So how can you be having a same actor
Selling
the same?
one cola, another cola, another cola, another cola.
Because you don't want to trust someone new. You don't want.
Why not? What's the problem?
Safe. You want to be safe zone.
Why? Has something happened in the past so you're saying that in the infrastructure that needs to be built, the first thing is the advertisers need to support. That's the answer I'm getting. And in the advertisers support, they need to trust new.
They need to build.
They need to build new.
Go back to early 90s and late 80s. there was a campaign when I was a child, and there was a campaign Dil Dil Pakistan, and Pepsi came in with Pepsi vital signs, and I loved that campaign,
But they trusted these guys.
but they were nobodies at that time.
So then, but they did they did.
They did. Now I don't see that.
Why? What happened in between that time and now that people have lost the?
I think the trust, or basically to do something, to build something, now it's become very mechanical. So when you are too much into numbers, when your delivery is based on how you're going to show on the Excel sheet, how you're going to show it on number of TRPs, and how you're going to show in the social uh, noise that you're going to build around it. So when these things start to take over,
So who do you think is more scared to take the risk? Is it the executives of the advertisers, or is it the executives at the agencies that are preventing risk?
all of us, because nobody is pushing for it. Nobody has the drive that I want to build something. Everyone is saying I want to build something safe where I can grow
Personally,
personally.
individually, I want to make money myself and I don't care about the industry.
No, I want to make money from my company. I want to make money from my product. So I want numbers. So my sales numbers should reflect my campaign today, because I don't know if I'm going to be here tomorrow or not. But when I leave, my numbers should say that, oh, I gave 30% growth in this particular campaign.
What will change this mindset?
Ah, tough question. The inner drive, when someone comes in, when Shoaib Mansoor came in, he had the drive to do something. So we are not getting more Shoaib Mansoors. We are not getting a more Anur Maksud. Someone who will challenge it.
Mola Judd did it in the movie space,
It showed.
but nothing followed after.
See, Maula Jet is a great example, but it's just one off. Shoaib Mansoor was not one off. So when I great friend with Bilal Ashari, but he is a different breed altogether, and he doesn't have to prove anyone because he's making a movie after 6 years. So you need to understand, a person who is not Bilal Ashari, he has to do a lot of other things. So he has to make more movies, make more content, create commercials, because he need to make a living. So I'm not saying Bilal is like blessed because he's very creative, but he has certain benefit as well. So he can afford to come out with a movie after 5 years, 7 years.
So you're saying that the person who can break this is someone who comes from a comfortable background, doesn't need the money, and is willing to take and has the drive and ambition to take the.
I'm not saying. What I'm saying is that it's just not one person. Shoaib Mansoor is still very creative, and he's still questioning and changing the how we think. But we don't have new people coming in who are of that. Shoaib Mansoor was just one of the people at that time, because they were trying to do something. Now, with social media, I feel that it's become easy, but the growth is still a particular level. After that, they get stuck. So how to move from, because if I go back to the history and see Shoaib Mansoor, so they came out with Guitar 93, then they had this branded show for one of the cigarette companies at that time, Girls and Guys, I remember. And that was a beautiful reality show that they did. It was, they took these actors and singers to Europe and different countries, and they did something. So that at that time they were experimenting. So the first reality show from Pakistan I saw was Girls and Guys, if that was the name I remember correctly. Now that was amazing show. So at that time, I'm early 90s or late 80s, that show came in.
It's funny you're saying this because in early 90s, we'd just come out of the Zia era, and the Zia era was like literally just.
Closed.
And suddenly, when it opened, what you're saying is when it opened, suddenly everything opened and people took risk.
Because they were deprived, they wanted to do something.
Okay, so then right now, this is the most open era we've ever been in. Everything on social
But then you're
media,
not
TikTok.
deprived. So basically, you just want an easy way out. So you want to be.
So everyone's become lazy.
So I wouldn't say lazy. It's safe approach.
Okay, so then you're saying that to build that creator, you need the infrastructure, you need advertisers to take risk, people need to stop being safe, right? So that's, let's say, the first thing. As part of the infrastructure, what else do we need? So people need to take risk, what else do we need? They need to trust, you mentioned.
See, first, they need to trust, and for the trust, they need to put in their money behind it. And then it's a long-term thing. Vital Sign didn't become Vital Sign day one. Yes, they had a one hit, but then they had hits one after another.
So let's say you find the trust, you put the money behind them, and then you're committed to making this work. What's the next step after that?
Okay, so if that happens and the talent is there, they'll grow.
What does the talent need at the next step?
So, see, talent needs, again, it's very subjective that what talent needs. See, they need to also think out of the box. Because when talent also starts doing the same thing, or they get into the same feel that this is what I want, you have to do something that people want. So the minute you have a different psyche where you are just going against the tide and you don't want to understand what is the demand and what you're supplying, so that is also a one place I feel that at times you miss. It's yes, it's good to go challenge the norms, but at the same time deliver what people would like to watch. So Shoaib Mansoor came in, he gave something which was against the tide, but this is what people wanted to watch. Our generation wanted to listen to that song. They wanted to see those videos. Ghazanfar Ali,
He did a great
MCC,
job.
MCC, that 20-minute show, only one song every week released. And
There's one song. For some reason, I was thinking it was two songs.
So-
One is even worse.
So one song and 3 songs were repeat.
Okay, that's I don't
So
know.
basically, and how those videos were created. Ghazanfar used to give a camera, ja bana le video. These 4 guys will go sit in the car, shoot it, and that was a new video. So I always say that it's not the money, it's the content that counts, but then the brands have to come in. So initially, all these news bands, the bands at that time with MCC charts and all these, they were then supported by the big companies. So they picked up, they said, okay, I like this boy, I like this band, and they started investing. So there was an era which came in with a lot of superstars. So we have Vital Sign, Janoon, Awaz, Arid Zone, Yatagan, Fakhre Alam, Hadika Kiani, and then died. Now it's coming back again. And why is it coming back? Because things change. Disruption happened. Digital technology came in. The money that they used to get from the sponsors, now they're getting it through digital platforms. So now they can make videos, they can make new music because they're earning money. There was a time when they were not earning money. The concept of concerts went away. Then our country went into a different situation.
So you had to stop all, yeah.
So it all died out.
And now it's coming back up
So
again.
now it's coming back again. And now if you see, the brands are now getting back behind these musicians as well.
So what I'm liking is the fact that in this infrastructure, as someone scales, builds, whether they're a content creator, whether they're a band, what you're saying is that if you become big, to go from being big and becoming somebody to the next level, you need someone to trust, obviously trust in you, then financially back you. And then you need the brands to be able to take a risk on you. And you need to someone needs to play the role of a coach or a mentor so that that band or that individual is creating content for the masses and feeding the audiences what they want, but at the same time is also testing and playing with new things. And that balance is what the key is, because you can't test too hard and then suddenly lose the audience or become too much of the audience's favorite and not try new things. And that's sort of what's missing as an equation overall.
That's exactly what's missing. Plus, there is no quick fix, but people are now looking for a quick fix. So the safe zone. So you want an overnight success. And maybe you will get an overnight success, but then you have to build on it.
It takes 10 years to be successful overnight.
Not necessary. We have Dananir. She just became an overnight success. But then she's been working hard, from doing small projects to doing commercials to doing dramas to doing a movie now. So she's growing and she's growing. So sometimes you will get an overnight success. Sometimes it will take you 10 years to get an overnight success. I totally agree with you. But then there is a complete process and you have to follow the process.
no matter how, when you get successful, there is work required to maintain.
Hard work.
Because I keep telling people, I said, look, it's like going to the gym and building a nice body, right? You've built the body, and the minute you stop the gym, that body's gone. It's finished. Like, unless you go to the gym after building that body and looking buff and being strong or whatever, you still have to go to the gym 5 times a week to maintain that. Otherwise, you lose it. And I think, especially in this career, as in this industry, where you are only as good as your last hit, right? Because there's someone standing right at the door waiting to take your spot. You have to always sort of.
And now it's become more competitive, because at that time you had more opportunities, because there were very limited options, so people had to get that option. So MCC chart, the entire youth of Pakistan used to watch one show around 10 o'clock on Wednesday night, I believe, if I still remember correctly, and it used to come at that time.
Now there's music videos coming out left, right, and center.
But you know what? I still say to everyone, if your content is good, if your talent is good, it's going to show. Somehow it will come up.
So I want to connect this infrastructure that you just talked about, that you need to get from where you are to where you need to be, right? To the next level. And the reason I was pushing you on this is because you've actually done this. You did this with Fahad Mustafa at a time when Amir Liaquat was sort of running the Ramzan transmissions and sort of that game show kind of space. You went and you bet on Fahad Mustafa, who was not as big as Amir Liaquat at the time. What made you place that bet? Why Fahad Mustafa?
Okay, so Fahad is a very interesting story. Fahad used to host one of our another reality show. It was called Nachle, Pakistan's first dance show. And we did it like, I don't know, 20 years back, 18 years back, something like that. And at that time, Fahad was very young, very new, but he had the energy. And we could see that energy coming in from him. The way he used to host the show, so he had that potential that we identified at that time, that, okay, he's something good. How good? You just have to you have to trust.
So you identified him, you did the trust part.
So we did that.
How did you figure out? So
No, here's this interesting.
How did you decide how you want to trust?
Then he was doing morning show on another channel, and it was a dead show. He was doing it very, I would say, half-heartedly, but because he was getting good money for it, he was happy with it. So I asked him that, please come in and let's do this show. And he wasn't doing it. So then I had to go to Salman Bhai. I said, listen, this guy is not doing it. You convince him. And he convinced him that, okay, you should do it. So, okay, fine. We started doing the rehearsals and everything. And when we went to the sales and we said, okay, we are starting this new show, and it's called Jeeto Pakistan. It's going to be against Amir Liaquat, and it's in the same format, same genre, and we're going to do it. I still have that email from our sales guys, and they said the major clients have refused to come in the show because they're saying that this guy, the host, is bad. He has no energy, and he is not capable of doing such kind of show. So we don't want to participate in the show. So we recommend that you change the host. Now imagine Fahad Mustafa at that time being told that you replace him, but we trusted his talent.
What made you trust him?
Because we had seen him. We had seen his talent. The show that he hosted for us, we had we have to see what is available in the market. So out of everyone, we were looking at someone who can build, who is going to grow. So we created that personality around him. We created that whole thing, and he was very hardworking.
So when you say we created that personality around him, what does that mean?
So the show was built with a certain criteria, is how we're going to go, how we're going to counter Amir, how we're going to grow further on it. Because step 1 was to beat Amir. Step 2 was to grow bigger. Step 3 was to continue growing. It's been 14 years and we are, mashallah, still doing better. So every year the question we have is how to innovate, how to get bigger, better. So we had our challenges. COVID, a show which runs on people, how do we do it? We managed it. So we came out with the Jeeto Pakistan League at that time. So we said, okay, we had 2 options at that time. One option was, let's not do the show at all. Or let's do something, because at that time, everyone's depressed, everyone's down. We said, if we on a network, a national network, don't do the show, people will get down. So what do? We said, okay, it's our duty. It's our responsibility that we give them hope. So we created a format within Jeeto Pakistan where we did this league where we had celebrities standing poles apart, no connection, no contact, and we did this game show. But it became success. And the format was so good that now every Ramzan we follow the same format where we have celebrity league happening. And initially, the first year, there was no audience. Now we have audience. So it multiplied. So when you ask me what was the difference, at that time, the response that we gave back to the market was that, okay, so whoever is coming right now will get our priority. And next time, if we don't have space, we will not give you no matter how big of a clients you are. And the good thing was, 6 months down the road, the same clients came back running to us that, okay, we want to be part of it. Please take those advertisers out and give us, we're going to pay whatever price you want to pay or whatever price you want. And we said, sorry, we can't do that. For 2 years, we continued with the clients who supported us. Till the time they said, okay, we can't go ahead further or some of their own thing. So we never tried to encash on it that, okay, now we're getting new, bigger client or more money, we'll do it. But the thing is, that's the trust that you have to build. So a trust that our team saw, the trust our management saw, and then we stick to it because we had that trust. We wanted to develop.
And what happens when
You need to know what was happening at that time. The guy was at the wrong place at the wrong show. It wasn't his.
So you saw that
We knew that because
because he'd worked with you before.
he's worked with us, and it was not a format that he was good at. It was not something that excited him.
But it takes a very skilled eye to be able to pick that out, right? To figure out that the talent is not performing in this particular environment, but the talent will perform in that environment.
That's where the organization trust comes in. Because at that time, if the management had decided, okay, we'll go with the response of advertisers and had removed him and taken any other big name, because at that time he wasn't that big. Right now he's the biggest. But at that time he was not Fahad Mustafa, the brand that now he's in every second commercial. At that time, he was nobody.
And when the talent takes this trajectory, right? And suddenly they become, over a period of time, they become very successful. You've put the trust in them. You've got the advertisers on board. You've put the money behind them. And you've coached them and mentored them and guided them, right? How do you deal with the talent now having become so big that they're actually bigger than the people who created them, right? Think of the one example that comes to mind is when Martin Scorsese started working with Robert De Niro in the early 70s, 73, I think it was Taxi Driver in New York, and there was one more, I forget the name. De Niro is now an institution, right? He's worked with Scorsese on 10 movies, 2, 3 in the 70s, 2, 3 in the 80s, 2, 3 in the 90s, or whatever it was. De Niro is bigger. Everyone knows Robert De Niro. Everyone, right? Same with Leo DiCaprio. He's done 6 Scorsese movies. He's become bigger than Scorsese. But Scorsese gave these guys their break. How do you manage that?
I think it's more of a teamwork. Talent is the core. If the talent is not there, and if talent doesn't has his head on his plate, so you have to keep it.
How do you do that? Because it's easy to lose your head when you're that famous.
So I think it's both. The talent themselves have to realize this, and some mentor, someone has to keep it on a check as well. So it has to be like, you can't spoon feed anyone. It's not possible. You have to just, it's like a teacher and a student relationship. But teacher, it's not exactly that. So you can tell them that this is where you're heading wrong. But eventually, it's the talent themselves. So if they lose it, then you've seen big names going down.
Yeah, but the thing with teacher-student relationship, right? The teacher has this.
No, I'm saying it's not exactly that.
It's not exactly like that. And the big difference is that a teacher has a student for, let's say, 1 academic year, maybe 2. The student gains a grade, moves up, right? And eventually the teachers fade in the background as new teachers come in. In this case, the teacher is the same. It's the person who's given the talent that
pedestal. It's not just one person, because it's a team. So the team keeps growing. And they keep on changing as well. So it's not just that.
So in the case of Fahad Mustafa, it's still you, Fahad Mustafa, and
No, there is a complete team. There's Ubaid Khan, there's Khurram, there is Asif, there is everything. So you need to understand, it's just not one person.
so as the team is evolving, the person is evolving, and that support structure continues to evolve.
True.
Who keeps them grounded?
I think everyone does. So it has to be a teamwork. It cannot be just one person.
Really?
Yeah.
Give me an example of how the team kept him grounded.
So team did not keep him grounded. He and the team, everyone kept everyone grounded. So you need to understand that it's just not him, it's also the team. Team may also say, oh, I'm big.
Right. Okay, so it works both.
So it worked both way. So the director of the show, he can be, because I direct the show. So he can say that, okay, this is my thing. Someone who's
DOP can say the same thing, director can say, yeah.
So the guy who's responsible for Kareem, the lighting guy, he is amazing. So you remove him from the show, it's going to affect. The guy who's responsible, the person who's responsible for the set, he puts his heart and soul in it.
But the outside world doesn't see it, right? The outside world only sees the celebrity.
But that's what the showbiz is all about. You only see what's shown on the screen. You don't see the people behind the screen.
And the thing is that as long as behind the screen everyone operates as a team, it works. But as if behind the screen the celebrity becomes too big, then it falls apart.
It does. And that's the case everywhere.
Right.
So whenever you start thinking that you are bigger than the project, you're bigger than the organization, you're bound to go down.
Which, don't need a name, but tell me of a time when you worked with a celebrity who felt that way. How did you navigate through that time?
I think one of the biggest example that I don't want to quote, but we all know that he was a rating magnet.
Amir Liaquat?
And I think he was one of the biggest showmen that this country ever had.
And he became too big in his own head.
He lost it somewhere.
And you'd worked with him directly.
I worked with him. He was a dear friend. We did a lot of things together.
When he lost it, how did you try to get him back? What were the things that you did that you were trying?
So, see, he wasn't working at that time with us. He was there. But I'm just saying that it's very important that it's not just him. Anyone in the world, if you see that they become too big for themselves and they think they're bigger than the product that they are part of, then they're going to lose. Because nobody is bigger than the product himself. Not me, not any celebrity, not any director, not any producer, nobody.
So how do you keep yourself grounded? Because what you have helped Fahad build, Salman Iqbal has helped you build, right? Because you eventually, essentially, you started off your career at Interflow. You grew up in Hyderabad, you studied in Quetta, you've sort of had a normal childhood, and then you had this opportunity from Interflow to come in and help build and scale this TV channel in Salman Iqbal, and you quote him everywhere, including at your doctorate award ceremony. You quote him as your mentor, your coach, and everything. How do you keep yourself in check that you don't become bigger than the guy who gave you the opportunity?
I think the trust that someone needs to give, I cannot grow on my own. So if the platform was not given to me, I would not have been able to achieve anything. So I am really thankful to the time, to all the support, all the trust that, like I'm saying, you have to put on someone. Someone was putting that trust on me. So it was Salman Iqbal. Salman Bhai has been instrumental in giving me that support. Before that, Sajad Gul. He's also one of my mentors. He's taught me a lot of things that I know. So I think that my foundation was kept by him. So all those mentors that come in, directly or indirectly, some of the mentors that you have, you may have never met with them, but you have read about them, you've gone through their strategies, you've seen their work, and then you get inspired by them. So I think you have to keep what I was telling you for the other people, I apply the same on me. So the check has to be on me as well, internally, from my team, from my management. So I think it works both ways. I need to know that if I go beyond certain thing, nobody is, as I said, including myself, nobody is bigger than the product. So if I am trying to think that I am bigger than product, then I'm wrong. And the minute I think of that, I'm going to lose out, not the product. Because product may die, but with it, I'm going to die too.
And in this relationship that you have with Salman Iqbal, and he's given you this opportunity and you've grown, every relationship has its ups and downs, right? That's the nature of every relationship. How did you navigate through, walk me through a down period you had where things were just high friction, and how did you navigate through that? Because I think that's a learning lesson for a lot of people who work in business and partnerships. So I'm a big believer that partnerships take you further, right? You want to run fast, you can run alone. You want to run far, you run together. But one thing that most people don't talk about, especially in our society, is how do you navigate the down period of a partnership, right? If you're committed to someone and the honesty and the trust and all of that stuff is there, you will have that down period. How did you get through a down period?
Okay, so I've been with Salman Bhai for the last 21 years, and we've seen many ups and we've seen many downs. But I think it was part of all growing up. At least for me, I was growing, I was moving forward, I was there. So with support, there are checks, there are balances, there are sometimes we.
Like what kind of checks and balances? Give me some examples. You're very safe in your responses, I realized.
There are certain things that you would like to describe in these interviews, and there are certain things that you don't want to go in detail. So, um, basically, when you say checks and balances, you say that when there are lows on an organization, you stand by. When there are lows on the individuals, then the individuals stand by or the organization stand by with you. So I think it's a give and take. So it's not necessary that you will be just on the giving side all the time or on the taking side.
And they need to do the same with you when you're on your low.
Both sides. So I'm saying that when the organization needs you, you have to stand by it. And when an individual needs you, it's just not me, it's everyone. So if you look at ARY, it's just not me. As an organization, most of the people are now 15 years, 18 years, 20 years working with the same organization. So as long as you're working in an organization where you are partnering with them, you are growing with them. So if the trust is lost, then you may not be there. So as long as the trust is there, as long as the confidence between both the parties are there, you continue going with it.
So you've navigated through downs, you've seen difficult times. The channel's had its definite share of ups and downs, political, content, advertising, all related. Do you see a down coming in the near future as AI is sort of taking the industry by storm, right? You're starting to see AI songs, you're starting to see AI advertising, you're starting to see AI short films, you're starting to see a lot of AI content, right? So I'm going to give you two questions, right? How do you see AI disrupt the industry when core storytelling is truly about human emotion, which AI can never replicate? And so that's the first part. And let's say we do use AI and we do use the storytelling that is human. Who ends up owning the AI versions of these famous actors or hosts or presenters that exist today, right? Would Fahad Mustafa own the rights to his own AI avatar, or would you, the network, own the rights to his avatar because you, the network, built him and brought him to this place? So I'm giving you a big frame here to play with.
Okay, so the first question, I think yes, definitely AI is going to disrupt the media industry as every industry is going to be disrupted by it. I don't see it as a downfall. I see it as an opportunity because things are going to get better, faster, much more polished, much more economical. And I think that's the very good side because the things that you used to do in months, now you can do it in hours. So your quality is going to get better. Post edits, VFX, even a lot of stuff that we used to like from script side to analysis to feedback, lot of stuff that we used to be like focused on and used to do it over period of months. Now we can do it in just weeks.
Yeah, but the problem is it looks the same, right? So like now I'm
Okay,
seeing
no,
all
so
these.
I'm just saying it's going to
Yeah.
support. I'm not saying that you
It'll kill the creativity.
no, you don't. See, we need to understand we are not making it do creative work. We are just getting support. So if you try, see, you need to understand AI will do everything, anything that you want, but it will not have one thing, and that is soul. It will not have. See, human beings are perfect, but they are. What do they make? How do they
It's the imperfection that makes.
perfection that they are perfect? So AI will never have that imperfection.
And the other thing, we were just talking about this before we started recording. We were talking about how the models are trained on data up until this point in moment right now. They're not forward looking, right? And so humans, on the other hand, when I see something, given the temperature, the lighting, the environment, the person across from me, my sleep level, my sort of nutrition level, I will react to every single thing differently in every single situation, which will be completely different from the way you react to it. So I will react to it in a certain range of reactions, but that range of reactions will be dependent on my physical state, right? Or my mental state. So if I'm well fed but underslept, reaction is different. If I'm well slept but underfed, reaction is different, and that's different from you. Models, on the other hand, are standardized. So they will always react within a certain set standard, right? And that, to me, is the biggest difference. And so if we start bringing in these models into the world of creativity and take the human creative element out, you've just built a whole bunch of sameness, and the entire industry starts looking the same.
See, anything that you do wrong will give you wrong output. So it's like garbage in, garbage out.
That's AI.
So AI is there as a helping tool. We need to understand that AI is just how we work. The tools is changing. Like if you remember, there was a time when Walt Disney or these cartoons, the Mickey Mouse, they were being produced by artists who used to draw each and every frame.
Yes.
Then came Steve Jobs' time when he said
Pixar.
So what did he do? He said, I'm gonna animate the
Toy Story.
So what did happen? Did the technology kill the artist? No.
Because the storytelling still is human.
Exactly. So the storytelling will always stay human.
Do you think that will?
It will. It just will just get better if you use it properly. See, if you try to take it that, okay, write me a script, make me a movie, there is already, I feel that whenever there's an AI thing coming in, people have started disliking it.
Yeah, that's a perception. They're like, oh, you AI wrote the article I published. The first thing you asked me is, did AI write it, right? So, and I knew why you were asking me, because you noticed that it was a real story. There was real examples. This could not have been made by AI, but there were some AI elements that showed up in.
Okay, so I'm not against that. I'm saying, yes, you use it. And everyone is using it. In few months' time, if not years, the word that you use, the Word document, it's going to have automatic AI.
Yeah, exactly.
You go back 20 years, the mistakes you used to have on typewriter, you used to have those.
The whiteout.
Now you don't have those. You don't expect spelling mistakes because there's an auto check. So those are for your benefit. So coming back to your first question, that I personally feel that the industry is going to benefit greatly from it. There will be times, there will be ways where people will try to go beyond a certain capacity, and then it's not going to work out. There might be one-off hits, there might be a couple of hits. The people may say, oh, I really like it. Things will become easier. Like we used to do chroma. Then we do color grading, we do editing. Now these things are much faster. So if color grading used to take 1 week to do a small clip, it will now take few hours, and it will be done automatically. And you can then, the human element can come in and say, okay, now reduce this color, increase this tone. That can be done.
So you're saying that the mechanical infrastructure, the harder work to produce refined content, the harder work, that becomes easier.
Exactly.
Which allows us to spend more time on the story.
Cartoons that were made on frame by frame are now done by computer. But the character is someone. Now you're gonna describe that character. So if you're telling, okay, I'm gonna make Woody, so you'll have to describe it. Or you can say, oh, I want to make a character. Give me an option. It's gonna give you an option. You're gonna pick something out of it.
Like you would, now that you're saying it, like I don't think you would have ever had a show like The Simpsons run 20 plus years if you didn't have a technology enabled world to be able to create these characters at scale on a weekly basis for 20 plus years.
True.
Right? Versus you're drawing them every single week for 20 years.
So that's
right?
why, if you remember, these huge cartoons that we used to watch,
Woody Woodpecker and yes, they used to be, yes, exactly.
they used to take months to produce.
Tom and Jerry, Woody Woodpecker.
So now, how long a movie of 90 minutes will take to make a series, animated movie? Very little than if you used to make a Woody Woodpecker
Yeah.
3-minute thing.
So then the focus is the script.
Okay, so the script will also get benefit.
I think that the script will benefit because the frame of the script, the structure, the story, the beginning, the end, the middles, just there's a better framing, right? Inside the framing, the emotion, the content, the characters, the arcs of the story, all of that is still human and built and driven by human experiences.
It has to be.
So how would the script get better because of AI?
So everything will get better, and also script. So a lot of things that you can do, a lot of things that you can ask structurally. Maybe you can say, okay, I have written the story. Can you tell me where I'm lacking? Eventually, it's going to be you who are going to decide. So the perfection that you want, the imperfection that you want, you choose yourself. It's always it's a G-Sir project. It's not that it's going to tell you. You say, I want to do it this way. You're going to say it's going to do, or you can do this. It's never going to come out with the soul, because the reaction that you want to come out with, it can never identify, because every individual is different. So you can tell us that, okay, in this particular scenario, this character is going to react in a particular manner. But that's not how human behave. You cannot predict their behavior. A person gets angry and will fight with someone, or he may go quiet.
Yeah.
And it's the same trait of same person. You don't know what his level is. When he's going to start shouting.
Yeah, because of the variables, right? He may be hungry, sleepy, tired, whatever.
Everything. So no matter how many variables you start putting in, there will be something which will miss out. So that is only the human element. So see, when you write a poem, you're writing from your heart. You can ask, मुझे गालिब की शायरी लिख के दे दो, AI will write it. But will it have the same soul? Will it be going through the same scenario that Ghalib went at that time? I don't think so.
So I think जो इसमें जो key element है is the selection of words that connect to the emotion you feel at that moment in time, right? I think that is what really is the essence of soul for me. So let's say I am feeling pain. The choice of word that I have to describe that pain may be different from the choice of word you have when you feel pain, right? And so the sentences we string together will feel and sound different based on...
Everyone have different strengths and different weaknesses. So I may not be able to use words to explain you some scenario as good as you can. You're a better speaker than I am. So that doesn't mean that I am less or you are more.
No.
It's just that you have certain better qualities, but in some scenario, I can do better in some things and you may not.
Like you can create far greater content than I can ever create because you've been doing this for 22 years and you've done it really, really well.
Or you may come in and you can surprise us. You can do much better than what I've done all my life.
Well, that's where AI can help me, right?
See, not necessary. AI is just a tool. You can just come out with an amazing concept, amazing story, amazing script. But someone will need to tell you how to write a script. So you're going to read, the first thing what you're going to do, you're going to say, okay, show me a script. How do I structure the script?
AI will train me on that.
So now you can ask, instead of asking me, can you send me a couple of scripts? You're going to say, AI, I want to write a script. Help me write the script. So it will start helping you. So we'll have new writers, new people coming in.
Actually, that's a great point, that this industry, which has struggled with the number of writers and the quality of writers, will actually start having new writers come in.
New writers coming in with more structured. Because what happened in Pakistan industry, if we look at, uh, we had a lot of writers who came in, housewives who used to read novels, who used to write for novels, who used to write for digest. Those
Yeah, those digest writers are basically the.
And initially they were taken, they were ridiculed, they were like degraded. Our dramas were considered कि digest writer से लिखवा रहे हैं script. Now those digest writers and novel writers are big. There's nothing wrong with them. They trained themselves. They got better. They never had this opportunity. We never had media. So where would they write? They would write in those digests. When the TV came in, there was demand. There was less supply. They found the opportunity and they went for it. But they had no proper training. So how did they do it? They must have done some research from library, asked some friend, can I ask some PTV guys, can you share some scripts with me? Some director, producer would say, oh, you should write like this. So somewhere they were being trained. They were getting. Now it's becoming easier. So for someone new coming in and thinking, okay, I want to write a script, they didn't need to go through all that research. They can just ask ChatGPT.
And they'll get exactly what they want.
Start writing it. Now going to your next question.
Is now that I have the script and I want to feature an actor, who's going to own the AI rights to the actor?
I think it's too early to say that how it.
What do you think?
I think the artist, the talent, they will retain the.
They should.
They will.
They will.
They will.
So so you're saying that there will be a situation where networks trying to own the rights, or big production houses try to own the rights of the actor because they'll say.
I think you can never own an individual.
But this is not an individual. It's their likeness.
Okay. So if you mentioned Robert De Niro, who's going to own Robert De Niro? So a particular character in that movie.
So exactly. So now let's say the 10 movies he did with Scorsese, right? And the characters he's played in those 10 movies. If there's a AI likeness of those characters I want to use in a future set of movies and I'm Scorsese, then technically I should own the rights.
I think this is not something new. It has been happening. If you remember, there have been a lot of animated movies in which they have used actual characters, where you have said, okay, now we are a hit, so we're going to make an animated movie out of this particular series or some movie. So were they getting paid? Yes, they were getting paid. There was a fee that was given for their character, for using their name, for using their.
Oh, they'll get paid, but I feel that the rights of that character would be owned by the.
You're getting out, no? So if they get paid, that means you have the rights. See.
No, I don't see it that way. I see it as if. So let's say we take Heat, famous movie of De Niro and Scorsese, mid-90s. Really good movie. It had Al Pacino and.
No, you take me and you and put it in that. Can you do that? Will that be Heat?
It will not be Heat, but let's say I want to take the character he played in that movie at that age, and I want to use that character likeness in a new Heat 2, but De Niro is obviously older now, right? So he will get the fee because it's his likeness and his person and the character.
Are you using his face?
It is his face.
Then you have to pay for it. Simple.
But I own that. I own the asset.
Okay, you own Heat, and you own that particular asset.
Yes.
The minute you create or sub-create something from it, you have to pay to that.
But the ownership rests with me. I'm just paying a rental fee or something to the actor for renting their face or likeness from that.
But that's the case as well, because then you're going to pay for the writer as well. You're going to pay the guy who created it. You're going to pay.
Right, then the entire ecosystem gets paid from that.
You have to. Like the biggest example, Friends.
Right.
So now today, if you create Friends again with all those characters, don't you think they'll get paid?
They should.
They will, because they still get paid.
Do you think that will happen? Like, do you think that with AI, we can actually go back and create a future version of past things, because you now have the character, the voice, the likeness, you've got everything, the model is trained, the AI builds it for you. And it's based on past data, right? So you know the content, you know all the nuances, the angles, the show elements, the arcs, everything. and you can just generate an endless stream of future content from that past bank of content.
There will be a lot of attempts. People will do it. There will be try, but I think the success of AI will not be recreating the old things. It will be creating the new things.
So, okay, I'll give you the scenario that's in my head, right? So, one of the things I'll sometimes rewatch old sitcoms, right? American sitcoms, not nostalgia. It's my way of de-stressing. So within 20 minutes, it's a few light laughs, characters that are familiar. I feel comfortable, I feel relaxed, and it's a way I go to bed, right? That's what I typically do on my way to bed, relaxing sitcoms. Now the problem is, let's say if I've watched Friends 3 times or I've watched Seinfeld 4 times, I'm starting to like see that scene and I'm like, oh, I know what's going to happen, and so it just becomes too boring. But imagine all of this content is placed in an AI engine, and it generates a new episode for me with the same characters, but a new script based on past scripts, and new outcomes based on past outcomes, but it's completely fresh every time I watch it. So it's an AI generated outcome of an old content with an old character list, but it's fresh every single time for me. Now I'm stuck in an endless future loop of content of that thing, and AI can deliver it. You don't think that's possible?
As I said, there will be a lot of efforts, a lot of attempts, but eventually, how you will react watching those is the key. I personally feel that it's going to be difficult. You may like couple of projects like this, but then you'll say, no, I don't want to watch anything because what was done in the past, I would like to continue watching that. This is my personal feeling. I can be wrong with it. Um, See, it's very difficult to recreate something, no matter how, because it was natural. This will not be natural, and no matter how much you train, the reaction, like Charlie Chaplin,
You can't I mean, can you? You
it's
can.
very subjective because what you've seen in the past. See, you still enjoy watching black and white Charlie Chaplin. There is now color version as well. You don't enjoy that. You enjoy
Because that's how he was intended to be consumed.
exactly. So then, whenever you're gonna divert from natural to unnatural, people will disassociate. Association is the key. So when you disassociate yourself from a content, from a character, you will not watch it. So the new characters, I feel that for the future, it's much more impactful. Living in the past and changing that will not. People don't want to watch that. So a lot of stuff that you are doing, like if I need to make a fashion shoot with X celebrity and he's not free, so he can lend out his avatar to us and we can create an AI and use his pictures. But I think that we have been doing for ages. I remember when I used to be in ad world and we used to be working for different brands, we used to take photo shoot of a particular celebrity and then we used to dress him differently, get his t-shirt changed, get the logo placed on his t-shirt, or get the female to wear another print of the lawn, and it was very much possible. So we used to say, okay, we're gonna make you dress 10 dresses, but she used to just wear one, and then it was through computer graphics we used to change that. Now AI is gonna do that. But when you were hiring that particular model, you used to tell that model, listen, we're going to use your 10 pictures for 10 different designs. That's exactly what we do now. How are you changing those? Through an animator who used to sit on the computer and draw everything on that. Now you're going to give a prompt, change these 10 dresses on this model, and it will be done.
But do you even need that human model when you can build one from AI, which is almost impossible to tell now?
Uh, it will always be used. It's gonna help you in, but we were using it anyways. We were using mannequin, we were using international faces. So you used to go into library of photos, pick up an international model, a country, neighboring country, and used to use them.
So we talked a little bit about content, TV, scripts. Makes sense that AI may not really be able to replicate old content and keep us engaged, right? And maybe the scripts get better. But modeling, the modeling industry, where you need volumes of people to showcase product, watches, clothes, cars, whatever it is. And then you have the physical production, right? The actual shoot, the lighting, the sound, all of that. All of that gets eliminated by me using an AI model, which is almost at this point in time like 98% like human, especially on a 2D static image, right? Does that mean the entire modeling industry gets disrupted? And if modeling continues and we use real human models, what are the applications for that? Is it high end stuff?
Okay, I see it in a very different manner. I think, yes, it's going to disrupt, but it's going to disrupt in a very positive way. What we are thinking are the campaigns and the models which are very high end, very big campaigns. Now, when we talk about, let's take a big model, the most sought after model right now in the fashion industry that a particular brand wants, and now they have a option of not taking that particular model and going with an AI. They will never do that.
Because the model has got an audience.
Yes.
But the AI could have an audience too.
Not really. Okay. Now, where the AI, because see, we have this tendency of looking at things in a very different manner, in a very negative manner. Now, look at a small brand which cannot afford a modeling shoot.
They would use AI.
Till the time they can. But now it's giving them a boost. It's giving them a jump start. So initially, if I was to set up a fashion shoot, I'm a budding fashion designer. Was the first thing I wanted to do? Get a photographer, request him to do it for free, get a model. Then I'll say, who are my friends who are good looking? Faizan, can you model for me, please?
Definitely not me.
So that's exactly how we used to do. And then will come, where do we do it? Faizan can come and use your office. You have some very nice thing. So you'll say, no, I can't. Okay, what do we do? Gazamfar model, 5,000 rupees lo, go on CVU, shoot a video. So now it's much more easier.
To take that start.
So take that start. So look at how AI will support so many business people, so many potential entrepreneurs, so many small businesses that could never grow because they did not have that potential, that contact. But now, if a shopkeeper, see, social media came in, it helped grow your business. A Masi working in a house uses a phone. A plumber who used to come now is on an app. A food rider, someone who gets his work because he can now go to different restaurants, pick up food order, deliver at home, and make money. So see, all this technology is helping us. There are negative sides. I definitely, there will be, as we go along, there will be some cheating happening, some model being used without their permission. All these things will happen, but eventually it will settle down. Then it will become a norm.
You're saying that it would allow businesses that previously never could use the modeling example or afford that to at least start off with this and then eventually earn their way or grow their way into using real life models. But the real life models and real life humans modeling for things will not disappear.
Definitely. It cannot. Because see, the human element, the human touch, the human connection, you cannot disconnect. Okay, you will create avatars that may be big. There might be a few avatars that you will say, but will you find them walking on the street? Will you find people standing outside a particular hotel saying, I just want to find a glimpse?
You know, the funny thing is, I was about to say no, and then I'm like, wait a second. These robots that I've been seeing, and, you know, sort of the way they're kind of progressing, the way robotics is progressing, you know what? Actually, we might be able to see that in about 20 years.
Or we may not. Because one thing you're saying, when you don't see, robot, you may like it, but you may not have the same association. Because eventually,
There.
see, I think, have the robots taken over the pets?
No, because a pet has that emotional connection that a robot
So imagine,
technically cannot have.
imagine when you say an animal has an emotion that a robot cannot take.
Today, yes.
So then you're talking about humans, whose emotion you asking those robots to take.
So then what you're saying is eventually it boils back down to human connection and emotion. And that
Everything. Because
and as long as that cannot be replicated, we're okay. Until that cannot be replicated, we're okay.
talk to Siri, but do you think talking to someone as a friend and talking to Siri as a friend have the same connection?
You'd be surprised what the data is starting to show. A lot of people are now engaging with their AI chat bots or whatever,
They are, but it's not helping them.
but it's also preventing them, it's giving them less of a reason to go out and make new friends. I mean, so data is showing people spending more time in their homes on devices, engaging
Totally agree.
in digital.
See, as I said, as we go along, there will be side effects as well. There will be some wrongdoings. People will misuse it. They wouldn't know how to use it. So these things will happen, but eventually they will stream out.
See, I think based on this perspective, I think we are at a huge advantage in Pakistan. And that the reason for that is, in our society, we live in joint family systems, close proximity, constant interaction with other people outside of the workplace, outside of the family space, right? Everything is based on the human interaction, right? Deals are done on the human interaction. Everything requires the personal connection.
Okay, so
And
in
that creates
I'll
a
give you
society
an
and
example.
community.
If you go into the field of medical, you are somehow associated with it. AI will help the field in many ways that we could never imagine. So now a psychologist, there can be an app where you talk to and it's much more easier. And then there is a psychologist sitting at the back and taking care of that analysis or creating an app. So things will happen. There will be positive side as well, and some people will use it for the negative as well. So it's when I said Siri, imagine a model, an AI that's your personal psychologist that you talk to him and it's guiding you. Right. But someone will be making that model, so it will have that because a psychologist is also trained due to certain parameters. He's gone through certain science, certain. So all that will be fed in that. Who's going to feed it? The same people, the humans, and the who teaches a psychologist. The professors have been there. The books are there. So now those professors, the books are going to be put in, but eventually it will go back to the human. What was happening? A psychologist was meeting 10 patients a day. Now he will be referred to 100. Difference is that 10 will be taken care immediately because
So it's the cartoon example, right? Previously it was a 3-minute cartoon. Now you can run a 3 hour exactly. So it's being able to generate more volume.
so I don't think so that there will be misuse, there will be disruption in the negative manner, but eventually things will settle down, and that comes with every technology. If you look at mobile phones, they came with their own negatives. There was the time when still we say, oh, there is too much of screen time, but now the productivity has gone manifold, but it came with its own negative. We call it a dog leash. The first thing in the morning, now you wake up, what do you do? What happened?
Yeah. What happened while I was sleeping?
What happened? But it seems like your life
Yeah.
depends on this.
Yeah. So I want to close with one last question, completely unrelated. There's a movie coming out called Zombie Eid. And I think Fahad Mustafa's in it. But surprisingly, Fahad Mustafa's in it, but you guys didn't produce this, or your production houses didn't.
No, that was Fiza and Nabil.
How come you guys didn't do that?
Fiza and Nabil have been doing many movies and they've done it with Fahad. So as an actor, he has been doing it. He's in a multiple movie, Actor in Law, and many movies. And I think he's been constant in all their movies. So he's been doing it, and I think he'll do very good.
So give me a good reason why I should go and watch a movie about the zombie apocalypse around Eid, which is a really weird kind of storyline.
Do you watch it? Do you watch zombie movies?
I mean, not. I don't go out and proactively watch them. No.
Okay, so it's not just why you should watch. Again, someone is trying to extend. Like our movie is coming, Lovely Song, which is a very commercial movie, Punjab centric, romance, some action. So you can go and watch that.
Yeah.
You can watch this one. All the movies, the best thing that can happen right now is that you have movies in cinemas.
Yes, and your options.
So you have options. Now, as I said initially, when we don't expand ourselves, we don't go and expand the.
So this is one of those testing genre opportunities.
See, will it work? Will it not work? We'll know it.
Has there ever been a zombie?
This is the first movie.
This is the first zombie movie set in Pakistan.
I think so.
Okay, then I mean, it's worth a watch.
See, but again, they've experimented with a genre and a very brave decision.
Yeah.
No harm with it.
So, do you think for this to truly succeed, you need more cinemas?
Oh, definitely.
Who's going to invest in them? The government, the people, or just wait it out and chicken egg problem?
See, film industry is a different
Completely different ball game.
ball because it's now more of a passion rather than business.
Yeah, but it always was also a way to launder and clean up your black money and stuff, right?
Let's negatives again. There are many.
No, but that's not a negative, right? That's I mean that was a reason for that business to exist.
Movie as a business in Pakistan, it doesn't exist.
It does not
It
exist.
doesn't exist. Those people who are making movie, they are
Crazy.
crazy. You have to be crazy to make a movie because in which business you will go to your investor and say, "I'm going to make a movie. It's going to take, let's say, 20 CR. You may earn 20 over on it, or you may lose everything." Now they say, "Okay, can you give me assurance? How much? Like, at least you'll recover, or 10%, 20." No, we can't. Because there's so many factors that you have to consider. A war is happening right now in all the entire world. What happens if that war accelerates?
There's not enough cinemas. A war could happen. There's distribution risk. There's
Fuel prices going high, everything. The tickets, so the cinemas are not there.
right.
So the box, see, we don't have a box office. We started building box office in 2017. We were getting there, and then political situation happened.
Pandemic happened.
No, pandemic had nothing to do with it. This was more of the neighboring country, the solution. So we were getting around 2-3 movies releasing every week. They were international movies, they were neighboring movies, but we were having a box office. So what was happening?
So as long as Indian cinema kept coming in here, we had a box office, and then when it stopped, it stopped.
Because we had movies coming in. So
We had a
the
pipeline.
visual. See, going to cinema is not an appointment viewing. It's a weekly ritual. It's a habit.
Right.
So if you look anywhere in the world, an individual will say, "I'm going to watch a movie in cinema once a week."
Right.
Maybe they used to watch once a week. Now they're watching it once a month because Netflix has come in and all that. But cinema was an activity. It's an activity for couples, for families, for kids. So you enjoy that. In Pakistan, we don't have that because you have to do it every day. Every week, every month.
It has to be a habit, right? Like it's a ritual. Once a month, we went, found a new movie.
So like if you're in Dubai, you say, "Oh, on Sunday we are gonna go have do some shopping, do some groceries, and we're gonna watch. No, we're gonna have some lunch and maybe watch a movie." So this part of your ritual. Now in Pakistan, what do? You say, "I'm gonna go have dinner. I'm gonna go do groceries. I'm gonna." That's it.
That's it. There's no ritual.
So it's not ritual. So it was becoming one because
And it's also very expensive here, right? Like, I mean, it's just you go out for one movie and you're out like thousands of rupees.
1,000 rupees or 3,000 rupees, when you don't have that batch of a supply, it doesn't matter. The thing is, first you must have X number of movies. If you have 52 or 100 movies releasing every year, then you will have a box office.
100 movies a year. 2 movies every week. That's what you need.
Because you need the option. So you need Love the Song and you need Zombie. And you're going to pick one. You won't watch both.
So you're, wait, let that register for a second. So you're saying our industry needs 100 movies per year, which means if each movie on average costs, let's say, between 10 and 15.
No, I'm saying movies. I'm not saying our movies.
Oh, just any movie.
So if you go back in 2017, we used to have all the Hollywood movies coming in, we have all the Bollywood movies coming in, and then we have our own movies. So we were producing around 30 movies a year.
And the remaining was filled, the 60 was filled by those guys.
60, 70 movies were coming from abroad.
And now we're doing less than 30.
We are doing around 30, 35 movies.
Okay, we're still doing 30, 30.
Pakistani movies are 5, 6, and the quality of those movies has gone down. Because when someone comes in to an investor and says, I want to do this as a business, they say, are you crazy?
Yeah, the investor's like, why would I lose 20 crores? And
So those people, ARY is making movies, Fiza and Nabila making movies. So all those people are movies, they're crazy people.
who's funding them?
It's passion, because you are doing. See, we came out with Aag Lage Basti Mein on Eid al Fitr. It's done amazing. But when we were making the budget, we were not sure.
No, but you guys fund your own movies, that's fine. But other independents, who's funding them?
They find some investors somewhere. Most of them try to put in the money themselves.
You can't put 20 CR on your own.
But not everyone started from there. Initially, the movie started from 5 crores, 3 crores, and then it went up.
See, then in that sense, it's okay if it's black money or whatever money.
Now you can't make movie that cheap.
But okay, so let me ask you this: is it okay in your books that it doesn't matter where the money came from as long as it's helping prop up an industry, whether it's taxed money or black money or whatever it is?
That's not a question.
No, I'm curious because some people have a problem with
It
that.
has to have a legal money. How can you not say?
Hollywood did it for years. Bollywood did it for years.
But it matters.
But it built the entire industry.
But it matters. When you ask me, so you can do a lot of stuff that.
So then it's not going to happen because
No, it will happen. I think the government is doing a lot of positive efforts that they've done in recent days. I've heard that Punjab Film City is being launched and all these. So if these things continue, I think there will be. But I think one important factor will always remain that we have influx of international movies coming in. That will really help, especially if Bollywood happens, but which I don't see it happen.
Do you think Indian movies should be allowed?
At this point of time, I don't think so.
No, in theory, do you think Indian movies?
Yeah, definitely.
Will they be allowed is a different question.
No, see,
Even with a war situation, do you think Indian movies should be allowed in Pakistan?
no, not at all. Because nothing is beyond your country. So if you ask me now, business-wise, if
Creates employment.
the situation was everything was going like it was in 2017, it made sense. They were being released in Pakistan. Pakistani content was being released in India. So it has to be both ways. So if the situation is ideal, then yes. Otherwise, and that's why we are suffering because of it. But that suffer, I think it's not as big as our own integrity and our country.
One last question I want to ask you. Let's say you're at MIPCOM and you're selling content, right? You're selling drama content, Pakistani content. You're at MIPCOM, it happens every year, twice a year in Cannes, and people go out there to sell content from around the world. You've seen it. Someone walks up to you at MIPCOM and says, you're selling Pakistani content. What is Pakistani content? In one sentence, describe to me what is Pakistani content that a global audience would buy.
The emotions.
Just emotions.
That's what our drama is all about. See, we need to understand that a few years back, we had no identity. We were trying to be Indian soap. We were trying to be Iran film. Everyone is. Now we are realistic drama that resonates with life.
So it's a representation of life in Pakistan.
Of a Urdu-speaking diaspora.
Okay, so it's a representation of a life of an Urdu-speaking diaspora, and we are clear about it.
We are pretty much clear, I think, and we have created that market for ourselves.
So we have arrived in that sense. The way Koreans were there, we are there.
Definitely, we have arrived. The only thing is that we have to now grow. When Koreans arrived and what they are today are two different things. We were struggling. We wanted to be something, but we were not aware what we wanted to be. We tried being Indian soap operas. We tried being very arty with like Iran films that we have. So we tried everything. But then somewhere we realized that why are we trying to be someone else? And those things were not done knowingly or purposefully. Some things happen because we were put into it because of our economies of scale. Like we couldn't shoot too much in studios. Why? Because the cost used to be very high. So again, for shooting in studios, we needed more episodes. For more episodes, the story used to stretch. So if I have to make 200 episodes or 300 episodes, people were not resonating with it. People could not associate themselves. So our drama is something that you associate. It has a relevancy. It's relatable. It does have some fantasy as well. But the biggest thing is the fear of this may not happen. So all these elements are there. So it's a story of a common person. So when a drama like Kabhi Main Kabhi Tum that becomes a hit, or Meray Paas Tum Ho, you just look at the drama and say, "Oh, I know this story. ये मेरे किसी जानने वाले के साथ हुई है. Oh, this is my friend's story." So when you see a story that's been going around you, when you see a character that you say, "Oh, I know this character. This woman is like this," or "This man, I know this man."
So then why would an international audience be interested in buying this?
That's why Urdu speaking diaspora. So that's an audience. So again,
But it's not dubbed content that would work as dubbed content. The way Turkish content worked as dubbed content, Korean worked as dubbed content, could ours work as dubbed content?
it is working because in that market, like our content is being dubbed by MBC, is being dubbed by different in different languages. And see, whenever there's an emotional touch, we have to remember who are we. When we talk about Pakistani culture, we talk about the religion. So we will not be able to do Christmas and a wedding in a church. So obviously there's going to be a disconnect. But then you need to understand that an Indian drama with bhajans and all that used to work in Pakistan as well. So we are not looking at their thing. Or even if you talk about Turkish, so the Turkish content, we just talk about 4-5 big names. What is Turkish content? Eventually, most of their content is something very similar to us. A family drama, an emotion-based dramas. All those big historical, classical plays that they come out with, those are just their brand ambassadors. So if you look at a catalog of anyone selling Turkish content, they will have one or two of these war heroes, Ertugrul types, and the remaining are going to be the little bride, talking about a young girl in her early teens getting married to an old man. So why you would never talk about that series, but that's what they get popular with. So ambassador is something else. Your hero is something different, but they are producing thousands of hours every year. Those thousands of hours is what? This is not Ertugrul. That's one. So there was this drama which was, I think, was a very big hit of this king and his many wives, and he used to live. I don't remember the series, and it was dubbed in Pakistan. If you watch it, it was a king and politics of his wives. Mera Sultan ke naam se, I think it was done in Pakistan. So the setting was different. It was a story of a king, but the story was same. Wives fighting over the domination. So it's the same thing. I think our dramas, coming back to your question, we have now a particular liking. We have our own identification. And now our dramas are being talked about. You know, beyond ratings and beyond viewership, when you sit in a mehfil and people talk about our place. This was not happening a decade back. Now, if you go somewhere and you start talking about a drama, no matter what class you belong to, no matter what SEC you are linked with, they will talk about it. You go to, and it's the good thing is now the male audience is watching it, the Gen Z is watching it. And that's something that data is saying. It's not me like giving you that it's happening.
That's evolved.
That's evolved. Initially, we used to get male audience that, oh, my wife watches your drama, so I move out into the other room because I don't want to watch it. Now they say, yeah, my wife is watching it and I have to watch it and I'm glued to it. So when is the next episode coming? So the guy may be blaming his wife that he's watching it, but now they're watching it. We know a lot of people who travel abroad and they download episodes of Pakistani drama to watch it on the plane. So this change has happened. And that's why our drama has arrived.
And do you think our drama people are willing to pay for on subscription? Because our audience is not a subscription based audience, right? I mean, you've seen the. Do you think Zap was a success in your opinion?
See, Zap,
Because you are also learning that content free on YouTube. So why would anyone come to Zap?
okay, that's a part of growth. So it will happen. Not eventually. I myself, I believe that, okay, we as a nation have been used to everything free, piracy. We had Rainbow Center, the hub of piracy in Pakistan, but it's no more there. So I think, and now with IPTV and all that, there will be always an issue where you will have people see why everyone wants something for free, and nobody minds if the content is coming for free. But the good thing is that the base is increasing. People are now paying for premium. Like if you have to use AI, you want to pay premium. So as the content will grow, people will start paying for it. It's a slow process, but it's happening. I think that's why there's streaming like ARY. We just launched ARY Plus. Now ARY Plus is going to come out with its own content. It's going to come out with originals, and hopefully people will start going.
So there's no more Zap anymore.
No,
That's done.
yeah,
And Plus will be a completely new approach.
it's a complete OTT from ARY.
Or it's complete OTT from AR and subscription based.
It will have subscription.
How much would you guys charge?
We haven't locked on that. Yeah.
Cool. And YouTube will still continue to be the primary driver for content, though.
At the moment, it's there. It's very integral part. But you go back 10 years, YouTube was banned in Pakistan.
Anything can happen. Thanks a lot. This was a very comprehensive discussion. I was able to get most of my questions answered. One question you dodged me on, but that's okay. But I really enjoyed this. I think the way you're sort of approaching the entire industry and the kind of breakthroughs you guys have made with content and even with talent. I think that if we can scale this to even the creator market, there's a huge potential sitting here that is ready to just completely grow. This is an industry that is getting organized with time, but with players like you, I think it can get organized faster. So I wish you all the success in this journey.
Thank you. Thank you for having me over.
Thank you. Thank you. Like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.